We have around 50,000 thoughts every day, and if most of those thoughts are the same as yesterday, your life will not change much. Because thoughts are not just random mental noise. They create a chain reaction that goes from thoughts to choices, to behaviors, to experiences, and finally to emotions. Those emotions feed back into your thoughts, and this repeating cycle is what I call the program. If you don't consciously change it, the program runs on autopilot, shaping your reality whether you like it or not. By the time most of us are 35, about 95% of who we are is a set of memorized behaviors, automatic reactions, and ingrained beliefs. Your brain works like a computer, recording patterns, routines, and emotional responses. It prefers the familiar, even if the familiar keeps you stuck. For example, most people wake up and immediately check their phones, scrolling social media, emails, news, and messages before breakfast. Then they follow the same routine, commuting the same way, seeing the same people, reacting to the same triggers. Over time, this repetition becomes hardwired, and your free will is subtly overridden by the program. Your conscious mind might want change, saying, "I want to be happy, healthy, successful," but your body and emotions are still running the old software. Most people wait for a crisis, like illness, loss, or tragedy, to finally change. But why wait when you can change in a state of joy and inspiration? Every thought creates a neurological pattern, and the more you repeat a thought, the stronger the neural pathway becomes. If you repeatedly think, "I can't handle this," your brain begins wiring itself to expect failure. If you think, "I am capable and growing," your brain starts noticing opportunities that prove it true. This is exactly how manifestation works. What you focus on, mentally and emotionally, begins to shape your reality. Thoughts determine decisions. Repeated decisions form habits. Habits produce predictable outcomes, and outcomes generate emotions. If you keep thinking in the past, worrying or reliving old failures, your future becomes a predictable echo of yesterday. Emotions are the body's response to repeated thoughts. A stressful memory triggers chemicals in your body, and if you replay that memory, it becomes a long-term mood, then a temperament, and eventually a personality trait. The key to changing your life is learning to shorten the time you let emotional reactions linger. Manifestation is not just positive thinking, it's feeling the reality of what you want even before it happens. Close your eyes and imagine yourself confident, happy, successful. If you feel it deeply, your brain cannot tell the difference between imagined and real experiences. You begin installing new neural hardware, conditioning your body to embody your desired state. Your mind stops being a record of the past and becomes a map to the future. Changing thought patterns feels uncomfortable because your brain resists the unfamiliar. If you have followed the same routines for decades, your body protests. Discomfort is natural. It signals that your subconscious is being rewired. Even simple choices like reacting calmly to a coworker or starting a new habit feel strange at first. But each small act creates new patterns that reinforce the reality you want. The first step is awareness. Start noticing your automatic thoughts, your reactions, and the patterns that repeat every day. Pay attention to the moments when you feel frustrated, anxious, or doubtful. These are clues showing where the old program is running. A simple practice is to carry a small notebook or use your phone to jot down recurring thoughts. For example, if you notice yourself thinking, "I can't do this project," write it down and also note the emotion it triggers. Awareness alone begins to break the automatic loop. Next, challenge your limiting beliefs. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me create the life I want? Replace self-defeating thoughts with empowering alternatives. Instead of thinking, "I always fail at relationships," reframe it as, "I am learning how to create healthy connections." You can even phrase it as a question. What if I could approach this differently? This helps your brain consider new possibilities rather than being trapped in old patterns. Visualization is a powerful tool for reprogramming. Close your eyes and mentally rehearse the life you want. Picture yourself completing goals, having fulfilling relationships, or feeling confident in challenging situations. The key is to engage your senses and emotions. Imagine how it smells, feels, and sounds to live that reality. For instance, if you want to feel confident giving presentations, imagine standing in front of a crowd, feeling calm, smiling, and receiving positive reactions. The brain treats vividly imagined experiences almost the same as real ones. So practicing this regularly begins to wire new neural pathways. Emotionally conditioning the body is equally important. Your brain and body are closely linked, so if your emotions remain stuck in past stress, your new thoughts won't take hold. When you imagine a future success, feel it physically. Notice the posture, the breath, the sense of ease or joy. You can even act as if in your daily life. Walk taller, smile more, or speak with confidence. These small actions send signals to your nervous system that the new state is real. Consistency is the secret. 30 days of conscious practice is usually enough to notice small changes, but repetition over months is what solidifies transformation. Start with short, daily sessions. 5 minutes of journaling, 5 minutes of visualization, or a simple affirmation repeated while looking in the mirror. For example, saying, "I am capable of handling challenges," while taking a few deep breaths can rewire your response to stress over time. Another method that works is habit stacking. Link a new mental habit to an existing daily routine. For instance, every time you brush your teeth, pause and visualize one positive outcome for your day. Or each time you make coffee, repeat an affirmation or mentally rehearse a goal. This subtly trains your brain to integrate new thoughts without feeling like a major effort. Removing old mental and emotional blocks is like preparing soil for a garden. Identify beliefs, resentments, or fears that no longer serve you, and consciously let them go. You might write them on paper and then burn or tear the paper as a symbolic release, or simply acknowledge them and decide not to act on them. Over time, the brain begins to shift away from these automatic triggers, making space for new patterns. Finally, surround yourself with supportive signals. This could be inspirational books, podcasts, people who embody the traits you want, or even visual cues in your environment like vision boards. These act as reminders for your brain to keep firing the new circuits you are creating. Changing your thoughts is not just about wishing for something to happen. It's about practicing new patterns daily, feeling the emotions of your future, acting as if it's already true, and consistently reinforcing these patterns. When you combine awareness, challenging limiting beliefs, visualization, emotional conditioning, consistent repetition, habit stacking, and environmental cues, your brain slowly rewires itself. Over time, the new thoughts become natural, and the reality you've imagined begins to take shape. Your thoughts are the architects of your life, shaping your choices, habits, experiences, and emotions. Your brain may resist, but resistance is proof that you are stepping into new territory. The program does not have to control you. You can consciously shape it by aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions to manifest your desired reality. Your life is a reflection of your mind. Your thoughts are either mirrors of the past or maps to the future. Which will you choose to create today?